Hey everybody, it's Henry with the Film Buds podcast. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks. 73. Let's get to Zack Snyder's new film now on Netflix, which is Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. It is written and directed by Zack Snyder, stars Sofia Boutella, Digimon Hanzo, Ed Skrein, Faye Duna, Anthony Hopkins, and a few others. And the synopsis is Korra and surviving warriors prepare to defend Velt, their new home, alongside its people against the realm. The warriors face their pasts, revealing their motivations before the realm's forces arrive to crush the growing rebellion. So, I did review the first part on the Zack Snyder bonus show, which I released for free on the feed, I think back in February, which you can check that out now. And I was a fan of it. I liked it a lot more than a lot of others seem to. I typically am a bit of a Zack Snyder defender. I think there's a lot of very unique, interesting, memorable aspects to his filmmaking that really engage me. And I thought Rebel Moon Part 1 was not amazing. It's not the next Star Wars, it's nothing like that, but it was solid, and I found it refreshing in some ways. And this one I was looking forward to because of that. Didn't know much about it in terms of what the storyline was, aside from it just carrying over from the first one. So I went in fairly blind. And I think overall, it's okay. I know some people are like trashing it across the board, and I don't think it's really there. But it is definitely a step down for me from the first one, probably his weakest movie in a long, long time. It does just feel very almost unnecessary, not very substantial. I felt like the first one was a very good, interesting setup to the world. I thought the world building was strong. I liked the characters. I liked the flow of the story. And really, you could almost have that be a standalone movie. Like, this one really doesn't need to exist for the most part. It is primarily action, and there's a lot of treading water in the beginning where it just shows them farming on their homeland, and there's this slow-mo farming, and it does not need to be there. It's self-indulgent. I don't mind someone like Zack Snyder being self-indulgent, but with this being a 4.5, 5-hour movie, or duology, whatever you want to call it, it feels unnecessary. I think Sofia Boutella, as I said on the first review, I think she's amazing in everything. I think she's a great action star. She has great presence, great emotional range. I love her, and she very much carries this whole series. And the whole cast is not bad. I think Ed Skrein, I really like him. But for this movie being 2 hours-ish long, the last hour, 15 minutes being a big sci-fi battle, I'm not against that, or a big fantasy sci-fi blockbuster series doing that. It just feels too long for what it is, because it follows a very familiar formula. There aren't a lot of surprises. The action is decent. Like, it looks really good. I love Zack Snyder's eye for sci-fi and for overall action in general. I think he has good choreography. And for the most part, the slow-mo doesn't bother me, aside from some of the stuff at the beginning, like I had just mentioned. So it really is very forgettable. I think it could have been easily smushed into a 3-hour movie or so rather than 2 pieces. I have heard that they want to do more in this franchise, which is fine, but I feel like they honestly could do individual stories for each one. Like, I don't think you really needed this second film to wrap up the first one. We kind of got it. And so if they want to do the third one like they're teasing at the end of this one, I'm fine with that. I'll watch as many as they make. I'm just hoping that they do a different sort of structure to the whole series, because there's too little substance. The character stuff is fairly bland. It's still entertaining. Like, I was still engaged for the whole thing. I never really was bored or rolling my eyes. There's nothing offensively wrong with it. So it is passable, in my opinion. I don't think it's as horrible as people are making out to be, but a little disappointing in the end. So that one is a light 3 out of 5.